Welcome everyone. This is going to be a deck profile of Amazoness post-circuit break using the fusions. Not really much to say about this deck. I've been using it for a while, even before the fusions, and I just wanted to show this build with the fusions in it. So, to start off, we got 3 copies of Princess. She's the Stratos of the deck. Just an amazing card. Like, she's Stratos on summon for a spell, and then when she attacks, you can discard an Amazoness to summon any Amazon from your deck, which is not level restricted, so that summons your queen straight out. She also counts as queen on field and grave, which is how you make the fusion. And then we got 3 copies of Tiger. Sorry, this is a proxy for a 3rd Tiger. When I was playing non-fusion Amazons, I only ran 2 of this, but now that we have the fusions, I would run 3, because if you fuse with it in your hand using poly, it immediately summons back on the Empress. So I would play 3 now. I ordered the 3rd already, but yeah, sorry about this. I just wanted to get this deck out before while the fusions were still fresh. Next up, we got 3 Spy. Spy's okay. It pretty much just replaces Marauding Captain. A lot of people played Marauding Captain because making Invoker is really strong in here. This kind of just replaces that. Its grave effect is kind of weak because it has to be destroyed by battle. So most of the time you crash, or you're just hoping your opponent punches it. But it also only has 800 attack. Pretty mediocre card, but it does have some uses. Next we're playing 1 queen. You still only need 1 queen. Like, opening this card is the worst thing that happens in this deck. So I still say just play 1. Princess is your queen. If you fuse with it, when the fusion dies, the fusion summons queen from anywhere, which means it can summon Princess back from the grave, and then you get a search. So pretty much the 1 queen, you want to summon it off of Princess's attack effect. And that's really all there is to it. If you ever want another queen, I do play Willpower to fetch it from the grave. I feel like that's really useful. For the other monsters, I'm playing 1 Amazoness Tiger. Used to play this at 2. Now I think 1 is fine because we're playing 3 Tiger, and you can't summon this if you control Baby Tiger. So that kind of sucks, but the 1 is still good in case you really need to get over just a really big monster. 1 Sage. This is your target for Invoker. It's the only level 4 warrior I play. You just summon this off of Invoker, and then at the end phase when it would die, it triggers your field to summon Princess to get you a search. It also does have the utility of being able to out back row. Overall, it's just a random utility card. I'm not playing any other Amazons. Like, I'm not playing Swordswoman. I'm not playing Paladin. Like, I'm not playing any of those others. The deck's really tight on space now, and these guys are the key engine up top. And yeah, that's about all there is to it. The last monster I'm playing is 3 King of the Swamp. Because this card counts as queen, this card counts as tiger, and it can search the poly. We need poly searchers because this deck has no other way to search poly. So yeah, 3 of this guy I think is pretty mandatory if you really want to go into fusions a lot. That's all the monsters I'm playing. Get on to spells. First spell, obviously we got 3 copies of Amazoness Call. It's a Stratos for any, a Rhoda for any monster or support, and in grave you can banish it and make an Amazoness you control attack all your opponent's monsters. Really, really strong card. Then we got 3 Village. Village is amazing. Like, it sucks that this card only gives 200 attack and it's kind of old, but its destruction effect is still good today. Anytime an Amazoness would be destroyed, you summon another Amazoness from your deck of equal or lower level, which can pretty much always be Princess, and get you another search. So yeah, really awesome card all the way through. also playing 3 terraforming. Most people only play 2 of this because almost every card in the deck can search village. Like your call can search village, your princess can search village. You should always have a way to get to village, but I'm just playing the 3rd terraforming because I feel like if I open these 6, I can use my call and my princess to search other stuff to give me an even better board. So yeah, 3 terraforming for me. I'm also playing the 3 poly. Again, this is the fusion build. We want to see our King of the Swamps. We want to see our polys. We want to see Princess. Spam out Empress and our other fusion. Pretty much just Empress, though. I'm not going to lie. The other fusion is really, really underwhelming. But yeah, 3 poly. 1 Dark Hole. 1 Rhoda. These are just kind of staplage things. 1 Heirloom. And 1 Amazoness Fighting Spirit. Most people don't play this, but I like having both of these as just like random searchable outs to big monsters, because this deck can lose really hard to your opponent just having like a 3,000 body on the field. Empress kind of fixes that by being really big herself, especially with the field. She is a 3,000, but I still like having these. This deck's more fun than anything else, and it's nice to have little options to things. And that's all the spells I play. The traps are really, really simple. We're just playing 3 copies of Onslaught. It's an incredible card. It does so many things. If you don't know, during the battle phase, you can summon an Amazoness from your hand, and it gains 500 attack. Really good for just spamming the board and getting over things. Also, if an Amazoness battles, at the end of the damage step, you banish the monster it battled. Non-targeting, so that's really good. It has to be face up at the start of the battle, though, so you can't flip it after they attack. You have to, like, at the start of the battle phase, be like, okay, I'm flipping this. This is active now. And then they have to choose to attack your guys. You can't surprise anyone with this. Also, if it's destroyed, I think you get an Amazoness, special summon an Amazoness from your grave. That hasn't happened very often. Because of that effect, most people just don't destroy this card. Also playing 2 willpower. Again, like, you only want to play the 1 queen. And I know there's like Back to the Front and Better Call the Haunted these days, but this is a searchable Call the Haunted. And it's really good for being able to recur your queen if they get past the first one. It's also good, even if you just open it, it's good to bring back princesses. Get more search. It's always good to just bring stuff back. It can bring back Empress because it doesn't have any restrictions. Good, solid card. I'm also playing 2 heavy Storm Duster. This deck is really slower than most decks. Like, you're not going to FTK in this deck. It's more of a, like, slow-paced. You just constantly get cards and get monsters on board, and your monsters are hard to kill. So, you know, in a slower-paced deck like this, you can really use heavy Storm Duster, and it won't cost you anything. I was playing Twin Twister to discard the baby tigers before, but I'm liking Storm Duster. And the last traps are just 2 generic things, Torrential and Warning. Torrential's good if you open it because, again, like, it triggers your field. Like, you can stop their play and hit their whole board and then trigger your field, tag into a princess, and then get a search. And Warning's just Warning. Now, the extra deck. Extra deck's pretty simple. We don't use a lot of this. We have 2 Empress. I might play a 3rd of this because this is the fusion you always go into. But I only got 2 from pre-release. If you don't know what she does, all of your Amazonas can't be destroyed by card effects. All other. She doesn't protect herself, which is really like the biggest problem with her. And then I think she gives them all Pierce. Or she pierces, one of those 2. Something pierces. Sorry. I should probably read that. Yeah, if an Amazoness attacks, it pierces. Also, if she's destroyed, you summon Queen from anywhere, which is usually the princess you use to make her. Summon it back, get a search. Playing just one Tiger or Liger. This fusion is really, really weak. Like, this card does almost nothing. It's kind of a shame because I really do like Tiger and Baby Tiger. But yeah, this card's just pointless. It's a 25. When it attacks, it gains 5, so it becomes a 3k. 32 with the field, which is pretty beefy, but she's a 3000 with the field. So he becomes a 32 with the field, and when he attacks, a monster loses 800 permanently. So, yeah, I guess he's okay. He can't have a use somewhere. I really don't like him, though. Further exceeds, I'm playing one Invoker for the Invoker play, one Break Sword. Those are pretty much the only rank 3s I play. I couldn't really think of any others. Like, Dante doesn't really help this deck. Grand Pulse, I guess, could be useful. There's not many 3s that help this deck. And I really, honestly, I don't exceed ever. Like, this Invoker is the only exceed I use. All this other extra is just for the sake of having an extra. But just to finish it off, we got Utopia package, Castell, Gagaga Samurai, Giant Hand, Abyss Dweller, and then the other guys I use is 3 Missus Radiant. So yeah, like, these Missus, this Invoker, and the Empresses, they're the only extra I use. I don't even know why I'm playing all these. Like I said, I just couldn't think of other good 3s. This is all I've ever used in the extra. These can just kind of be whatever you want. Like, play Grand Pulse, play more 3s, because 3s are the thing we actually make in this deck. So, but yeah, that's up to you. That's all there is to it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy this deck as much as I do.